Good supper, lunch, breakfast, everybody.
Good after evening, noon. Welcome to the Ham Radio Kids Table. We'll rent you the seat, but you'll only need the edge. This is not your grandfather's ham radio.
Did I? I goofed it up, didn't I?
A little bit.
Majorly. I bet you
Uh,
still don't have cue cards.
I don't.
I know it.
I don't. I I don't have cue cards, but Vince, I did something out of my comfort zone.
Oh,
What's
Yes,
what did you do?
I made my first over-the-air CW contact.
Woo!
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I can duplicate that, but I did it.
In
I
time you will. In
Yeah.
time you will.
Here we go.
I need to get my rear in gear and get the CW.
That
Oh,
is awesome. Congratulations. And now that your nerves are out of the way, you can do it
Well,
more often.
so it wasn't so much that my nerves were in the way. It was more I was strong armed into it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was I was
Did somebody like hold you down with their foot on your head and their other foot on your hand and say, do
pr-
it?
pr-
Do it.
yeah, no, there wasn't any. It wasn't. There was no suggestive. Do it. It was you're
it.
gonna do it, and well, that's what happened.
The best way to
That
do
is
anything the
great.
first time is to do it jumping in the air 2 feet forward flying. Just do
Yeah.
it.
So we had a couple firsts this year down at Hamcation. One was Big Jim.
Hamcation.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hamfest.
Oh, yeah, I knew what you
Hamfest.
meant. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few months
Big
off.
Big Jim jumped out of an airplane.
What?
Yeah. Yeah,
Jim?
A
Gene?
pilot,
Oh,
jumped out of an airplane.
Out of a perfectly good airplane, that is.
That's what I heard.
good
And
for
I made
him.
a CW contact. Actually, I think a couple people did. Mike and Becky, ham radio duo.
Yeah.
Mike and Becky had a couple radios set up there, and they did about a 1 watt, 2 meter from opposite sides of the pavilion.
Yeah.
And Mike was helping people with code, and Becky was on the other side and making park to park contacts.
Cool.
Oh,
So-
what a great way to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That
It was
is a good
fun. And
way. And if you
I know
can't
there were
understand-
several people that did it for the first time. So
Yeah,
That's
they had
great.
quite a line. It was
And if
awesome.
you can't understand the code, you just have to yell across the pavilion, like, "What the heck did you just say?"
honestly, you couldn't hear across the pavilion.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure
you
the
couldn't.
volume of everyone talking. Yeah.
It was a pretty it was pretty popular place to hang out on Friday, and it was a good time. This is I don't think this is maybe the third or the fourth year they've done this. Second year that I've been there, and it's been it was more people this time than last time, and I think last time there was more people than the time before. So it was pretty good. And Dave, that was your first time, right?
Yeah, it was my first year there. That was awesome.
Yeah.
A little hectic on Friday, but it was crazy. It was fun.
Yeah. Well, and the day started early too, because they had lunch, but there was also breakfast there too. So if you got there early enough, there was breakfast burritos for all.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Well, technically tacos.
were they
Little
tacos?
there were
Yeah.
burrito tacos.
Well,
Just-
taco size burritos.
Oh,
Texas sized burritos. It was Renee cooking. So,
oh, awesome.
yeah.
I thought burritos were Texas size tacos rolled up.
Well, that is awesome. So, hey,
Semantics.
listen, congratulations. Welcome to CW.
Yes.
And as International Dog Day event, and my video dropped on that yesterday on the start of the event, says CW stands for continuous wag,
Continuous wag. That's right. And SSB was
single side bark.
single side bark. There we go.
Yep.
Awesome.
And if you get one contact with International Dog Day, you get the Perky Puppy Award. You know, I'm not making this up. Somebody else did.
Hey, anything to get people on the air.
Anything exactly right.
Absolutely. So, what I wanted to talk about today, I had talked to Dave about coming on here and doing this, but it kind of hit me this morning as I was putting this together. Meshtastic is a fun thing. It's a, well, some might call it a novelty, right? But what happens when you have a true SHTF event? Can you utilize Meshtastic? And when I first met Dave, Dave had gotten involved with Seed Studio, but it was through his efforts in emergency management communications and stuff in his county that he got involved with Meshtastic, which through his path led him to Seed Studio. And what I really wanted to do was kind of talk to Dave about how you can utilize Meshtastic in a more of a role than just being able to communicate with around the Hamfest and other areas where maybe cellular service is burdened a little bit because of the volume of people there. So, Dave, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Dave, KB5 UTY, an
Not
ambassador for Seed Studios. Yeah, not to be confused with K Booty. Kind of an ambassador and on their Ranger program for Seed Studios. But yeah, the way I got started was I saw a bunch of YouTube videos on Meshtastic and thought it was neat. I live out in rural Texas where cell phone coverage is spotty to begin with, but we had the big freeze. And I was like, I wonder if this is something that we could use when something like that happens. Because I was 18 hours without power, 2 hours on, like that for about a week. So me and Patrick, which you guys got to meet, we set up 2 solar nodes, one at my house, one at his house at about 35 feet to try and see if we could get 15-ish miles out of it. And we did. So that kind of lit the light bulb. We then put one up on our repeater tower, one up on a buddy's tower, and we had 4 of them. And these are all home-built devices. And next thing you know, we kind of had a mesh, right? And covered a lot of the county. From there, we had the idea of using it. I'm the vice president of our ham radio club. Patrick's the president. I'm also the Texas Races county coordinator. So we were like, can we use this as another layer of communications, right? But everything was homebrew. You had to get an antenna, get a device, get a battery, get a 3D printed case, kind of build everything. And we were doing that, and everything kind of had a compromise. These things, if you don't print it in the right material, they melt in the heat in your truck. We've had several of them warp. So, and then Seed Studios came out with that guy, and I got on the pre-order list and was one of the first people to get one. And I was like, hey, this might work. And it's waterproof and it's super heat resistant. It's got a temperature sensor. And so we bought a couple of them. And while we would be working an event, whether it be a fire or a parade or, good or bad, whatever, started trying to see how well this stuff worked. And it kind of worked really well. So from there, we started using them. And we have about a dozen of them now in a kit. And I hand them out to the guys. And I use Mesh Sense, which is by N3FJP or by Affirmatech, same guys that make N3FJP. And now I can look at everybody on a map. And with the accuracy of these things, I can see them real time, walk down the street. And so we started using them and started testing it. And then Seed Studios came out with sent an email out saying that they were building a HAZCOM kit. So I'm like, hey, I sent them an email, replied to theirs and said, hey, this is what we're doing with your devices now, and I'd love to be involved. Next thing I know, we were making an appointment with the CEO from Seed Studios, with our county emergency management coordinator and the local guy from Texas Department of Emergency Management. And Eric, the CEO of Seed Studios, flew in. we sat down and then talked, and he gave me a Hascom kit and said, break it. So we started playing with it more and more. Betty started coming to some of our events, saw the usefulness and what we were using before, and then offered for me to become an ambassador. So I get to come around and hang out with you guys and go to Hamfest. But yeah,
Can
so
you
go ahead.
Can you tell the group who Betty is?
Betty is the marketing director for North America. She's normally in Austin, but she had to go back to China for a little bit to take care of her visa requirements. But so yeah, Betty is the marketing manager for North America for Seed Studios. But now we use these at every event, and we started taking it one step further. At first it was tracking the guys. Then we actually let them hook up their phones to it, started sending messaging back and forth. And now we use it specifically for our health and welfare checks when we're out at an event. Because if anybody who's done income knows, when you go to do your health and welfare checks, if you've got 20 guys out in the field, it could take 20 minutes to get a response from everybody, because one guy's chatting with the pretty girl in the corner, another guy's bumped his VF phone, is on the wrong channel.
Wait,
And
you've got pretty girls out at your events? I want to come down there. Just
at
say
the parades, yeah.
It is Texas, Vince.
It is Texas.
Yes, that's true.
That's right.
Sorry, Dave. Go ahead, man.
It's
So,
a requirement.
You know,
State law.
it plus if a guy doesn't answer, now we have to take another resource, get him over to figure out if that guy's okay, what's going on. Now we do our health and welfare on this. I'll just type out health and welfare check. This beeps, the guy's phone beeps, and they all reply, and we never have to touch the radio. So that's 15, 20 minutes of airtime that we now have freed back up for the event in case something happens. So, and that's kind of where it's at. Now I'm the Hamfest mesh dealer. So
That he
kinda fun.
is. Yeah, that was interesting. The last two Hamfests that I've been with you. Well, no, actually the last three.
Yep.
So last three of the big three that I've been to with you, it is that they're Dave can set up shop anywhere in the parking lot, and they line up to and
So if you're the dealer, do you have like a little tiny Meshtastic that's a giveaway, and you tell them it's the gateway drug? It's like your first rock is free.
Yeah. So you start out with the little guy.
Oh, there you go.
And you're like, here's a little taste. Here's a little taste. And then you work their way up.
Yeah, there we go.
So the welfare checks, if anybody could think about check-ins on a repeater during a net, right? It could be a very short transaction, or it could be a very long one, and which is good. Have you guys actually been able to use it in a scenario where maybe somebody's hurt, or you needed to get information, maybe it was too noisy for voice communication? I'm just assuming like a concert, for example, a use case where the Meshtastic messaging would be a preferred over besides the check-ins.
We actually haven't, but it's a great use case for Meshtastic. Is if you go to a festival, right? Big, huge festival. You've got 10,000 people in a small geographic location. Cell phone towers are overwhelmed. It's loud. It's noisy. And these work. You can actually, there's a lot of people now that are bringing them to big festivals so that they can keep in touch with everybody, because your cell phone service is going to be crap. You're not going to be able to make a phone call. If you did make a phone call, you wouldn't be able to hear it. So that's a wonderful use case for Meshtastic, is not just like the Hamfest where we play around with it, but actual communications in a large event when cell phone coverage doesn't work.
So I know I lost my train of thought. When we were out at Dayton, That is a large number of people that come into that area, Xenia at the fairgrounds, probably more so than what they would have for other events, except for the fair, which I don't know. Maybe that I don't know what the attendance is compared to that. Which they may not have the infrastructure in the area for that. If you go out to what is the one that everybody goes to out in the desert?
Burning Man. There's a huge Meshtastic presence at Burning Man.
Okay, Burning Man. I know. I think there was a big one just recently at DEF CON.
Yep.
DEF CON. Yeah, there was a special firmware for it. And
I'm sure the convention centers that they held that in probably had the appropriate infrastructure inside of the buildings to support that with gateways for the various carriers. But yeah, I mean, you get that many people, and they're all tech nerds, anyways.
yeah,
they're gonna use it and have fun with it.
well, I've been to a couple of concerts,
Mhm.
and even the AT&T Center here in San Antonio. When you get 10,000 people in the AT&T Center, cell phone service sucks. Even though you'll have full bars, you will not be able to make a phone call, and that's where something like this would come in handy. So even with the infrastructure, there's a lot of times that it just doesn't work. Emergency wise, if you build it, they'll come. And we built those first original 4 nodes. There's now about 300 nodes in the greater San Antonio area.
Wow.
And I can actually hop from far western Medina County all the way to the other side of Bexar County, which is about 65 miles, and actually have a communication with somebody be hopping through the different devices.
Nice.
So it kind of takes a village to make it work, but we've got buy-in from our county people. We've got buy-in from the city of Castroville, where they're actually talking about sponsoring some nodes in the city of Castroville so that people can utilize it for emergencies if they need to.
Awesome. James Hannibal, our friend Corky QRP, says Meshtastic rocks for techie people, but when will we see a simplified or simplistic default setting mode for faster setup for my non-techie friends and family?
That is something that I've actually been asking for a while. And I used my ex-wife as an example. She can use her cell phone to text people, and that's kind of as simple as it needs to be. Or so have not a dummy mode, but a simple mode and an advanced mode, right?
Mhm.
You pull up the app and it is literally just that, just sending messages, looks like text messaging. And there's a lot of people that have asked for that, but the guys that are developing this are techies. So the iPhone app is a little bit simpler than the Android app, but the Android guys like to be able to touch and tweak and adjust things. So it has all the things in the app. And yeah, that's something we've been asking for, just to make it easy, because you should, like on the TDEC firmware is now much easier to use, where you fire it up for the first time and ask for your name and your region, and it's done, right? And there's nothing else to set up, and you can actually just talk.
Super simple for sure.
Yeah, I think it probably should be said. There's, the Meshtastic is a software that rides on top of off-the-shelf LoRa transmitters. Correct. And that's so the equipment manufacturers are different. It's like Microsoft and Windows and being able to run it on 8 different types of computers. All the computer manufacturers make a standard that the Microsoft software can work on, and that's kind of the same thing with this. That the Meshtastic software rides on top of just the standard LoRa hardware. So there's other use cases for the LoRa hardware, but you're right. They're techies that write the software.
Everything up until Seed Studios L1 device is a repurposed IoT or LoRaWAN device. Mm-hmm. Even these guys, the reason why this is the E The T1000E is because the A, B, C, and D are different types of LoRaWAN and IoT devices used for tracking assets. This one was tweaked. They realized they could tweak it just a little bit and be able to use it on Meshtastic. So, yeah, this guy is actually a IoT gateway that is able to be repurposed into a Meshtastic device. Everything up until this guy, the L1, the L1's the first purpose-specific Meshtastic device. Everything else is repurposed from something else.
Here we go. I just saw it. I was actually thinking about this. Don N5SKT asked about Mesh Core.
So Mesh Core is really cool. So try not to go too far down the rabbit hole. Where Meshtastic was developed with the messaging and location sharing in mind specifically, and it uses flood routing. So your device screams, "Hey, I've got a message to send," and everybody picks it up. And then there's an algorithm that dictates who replies to that message and who rebroadcasts that message. And it's kind of inefficient. The guys with Mesh Core are actually focused on the message routing first, right? So the network will actually, everybody pings each other. They get an idea of signal strength, and then it kind of creates a little map internally that says, in a routing scheme that says, if I want to get to Vince and I need to go through Tim, well, then I'm just going to route my message directly to Tim so that it goes to Vince. Instead of me broadcasting and screaming, I got a message for Vince and hoping it gets to him. So yeah, Mesh Core is really cool. And same devices. It's just whether or not they've tweaked the firmware to the chipsets on all of these, even though they all may be ESP32 or the NRF chipset, they're all just a little bit different. So it takes the developers building the firmware for each device. So yeah, Mesh Core is cool.
And Atlas's bodyguard, Chris Bricker, says Reticulum is even better than Mesh Core. So many cool things.
It is. I haven't played with it yet, but
yeah,
I was just about to get into Reticulum when something happened and they removed the Meshtastic ability out of it. And I don't know if they ever fixed it and put it back in, but something else I want to play with as well. So yeah.
Sounds cool. Now, speaking of Seed Studios, you had mentioned kind of the backstory of how the CEO of Seed Studios got involved in this to begin with, and where this kind of all did. Can you share a little bit of his origin story, because I think that's actually cool.
If you look at Seed Studios lineup, there is a it's very agricultural leaning. And the reason why is Eric, the CEO of Seed Studios, grew up on a farm in China, was able to get his degree and wanted to bring everything he learned with his degree and the technology back to the farm and make the farm more efficient by using LoRaWAN and IoT technology and sensor networks to be able to see what's going on with the farm real time and make real adjustments. So his deal has always been open source. And if you look, I mean, if you look at their entire sensor catalog, most of it's really geared towards agriculture. It's useful for something else. But yeah, Eric, he grew up on a farm and he wanted to bring technology back to the farm. And that's what Seed Studios is all about. So it's really cool.
I tell you see Seed Studios now starting to pop up all over the place in devices, in projects, kits and stuff like that. The Xiao ESP32 modules, most specifically. But I tell you what, as I've dove into those, they are the best, well documented devices that I have seen. So well documented that you don't have to have an extensive knowledge or understanding to do it, to use a kit. You can figure it out pretty easily, and I like that. I appreciate that, because most of them they're hard, and it's hard to get people interested if there's a large and a steep learning curve to get into it.
Yeah, and that's part of their brand, or their core is open source. They will give you the entire schematic diagram, how everything's wired up, what you can do with every single pin, and it's all published before you even get the device. So you could actually look at the different stuff on their website and plan a build out without ever having to touch a device. And they do that on purpose, because they want you to be able to do that. Instead of, okay, well, I think this device is what I'm going to do. This does what I want it to do, but I don't know until I get the schematics that come with the device. The entire pinout and how it's the framework of the chip and everything is right there on the website, ready to go. Just scroll down a little bit and it's there. So open source, all about that.
I also have a question. I don't know if it's if this is just me reading into it, or if there's actually something to this, but seed is spelled with 3 E's, SEEED. Is that EEE something to do with an electrical engineering?
I have no idea.
Triple E.
You know, that's a question that I've never asked, but now I'm going to.
There you go. You know, a guy on a live stream asked me this. I feel like that's if it's not a good part of the origin story, it should be. If it isn't,
well, and in my head, kind of when we were up on Montesano and maybe had a couple of adult beverages in my head,
elevation will get you every time too.
That
thin
will.
air, thin air, and adult beverages.
I thought about, I was telling the story about Eric, and then I was like, wait a minute, agriculture seed. And I'm like, maybe,
Yeah.
Right. Maybe. Now I don't know for sure, but it is a question that I have asked, is why seed? Does seed have to do with the agricultural aspect of it? I don't know, but when I get an answer, I will definitely let you know, because inquiring minds.
Now, I mean, I'm going to speculate even further. Maybe it's a combination of electrical engineering and agriculture coming together. The triple E in the seed. That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
Boiler up. Oh, cool. So, Jeff, Vince, you guys have any questions or anything in the chat that?
You know, I've been watching the chat. We've got. I don't see any fresh questions. Chris Bricker said he's got a bunch of ideas, and that's what I know.
Chris Bricker is an idea guy at that. He is.
Yeah.
He has got some ideas.
Now I have a family photo here that I can share with the crowd.
Oh, hang on. Let me embiggen you there.
There we go. So I have the in the lower right, the T Echo. I have a T deck, and that's the a 3D printed case from
Alley Cat. Yes.
Alley Cat. It's
that's
a
my girl right
wonderful
there.
case. It's really great. And then I've got I've got the T1000E. This thing's great. It goes everywhere with me. I had this T deck. So this one sits at home, and it's it's just part of the mesh, and it just hangs. I don't monitor it. When I titled it or put my name on it, I said V6LK unmonitored and tagged it as unmonitored, so people don't send it messages. This one came up with me on a soda attempt recently. Note the use of the word attempt. It will go on me with all my sodas from now on, now that I've got a decent case on it. So it's fun stuff to play with. There's a very active community around in these parts of Meshtastic. K-Box Labs is about 1.5 kilometers south of me, and they had the distance record for quite a while on 900 meg Meshtastic, 254 kilometers, whatever that is in freedom miles. Divide by 1.625 if you need to know. Now that's been superseded with 330 something. which is just insane.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what guys are doing with Yagis. One of the things that I'm trying to figure out and develop, and I think I found out over the weekend, over the weekend, I forget the name of it now, Wilkerson something or other. We want to be able to do 2 opposed Yagis facing in different directions, but on a single antenna port. Kind of a mid relay point to tie meshes together.
Yeah,
and
back to back.
without having to have 2 radios to, one going that way and one going that way, and
Yeah.
hoping they don't overdrive each other on the back end of those Yagis. And I don't even have his card in front of me right now, but the guy who did the phased arrays at John is going to help us develop, I think it's called a Wilkerson combiner or something like that. But basically where you can take the 2 Yagis and put it into a single antenna port, and have the 3 dB if going out to both sides where everything's equal, receive is equal, and he's going to figure out how to balance that out. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Are they doing store and forward so it'll bring in a packet, store it, and then retransmit it?
We can. Some of the devices actually have enough memory to do that.
It's like an infrastructure node. Because the reason I ask is like I am in between 2 big cities. Big city and a big town, about halfway. And so if I had something like that I could point between them, one going each direction, pointing to each one, that I could act as a relay. I thought about doing something like that with 2 radios, and just a vertical or some form of a Yagi. But I didn't know if we could do it as one radio.
That's what the goal was, and it wouldn't be a Seed Studio device that actually use a Station G2, because the Station G2 can actually transmit the full 1 watt, because you will have some loss with the splitter. But more of a like San Antonio and Austin, right? Maybe putting one of these guys at elevation in New Braunfels, which is about halfway, and trying to tie the 2 independent networks together and be able to pass traffic. So without having 2 hops being the relay.
I saw, when I was last time I was up in the Chicagoland area, they had a pretty active network up there too. And I'm wondering how much of that traffic was just shooting right over Lake Michigan, because you could be 30, 40 miles east of Illinois and still see the city, or at least the top of the city there.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Water's great because it's totally flat, just a little bit of elevation, and you're straight across. It's amazing what a 1/4 watt at 900 megahertz will do with elevation and gain.
Chris Brecker says a Wilkerson power divider. Interesting.
That's the thing. Yes.
Thanks for the rabbit hole.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks for the rabbit hole.
So that is some pretty cool stuff. If you can put a power divider like that and create effectively a back-to-back, that would be pretty nifty.
Yeah. Put some of those down major highways and
sure,
have mesh connecting between 2 cities.
Put them near the tops of existing utility poles and whatever.
I'm wondering how hard would it be to get right away to do that on existing utility poles?
Super difficult. Power companies do
Dave
not want you
knows.
Anywhere near their poles.
Dave knows.
Yes, I do.
Now,
they do not want you anywhere
communications companies, however, guys with land mobile radio, existing repeater owners with their own sites. My club does not own any of the 13 sites we're in. We have leasing agreements with 4 different landlords. And so we would reach out to those guys and say, how about it? And as a matter of fact, we have nodes in 3 of our sites right now.
Let me share. This is an old picture. I couldn't find a new picture of my family of nodes.
Just a few there.
Just a few. And that's not even with any of the new stuff.
What's the one in the lower left corner?
That is the Station G2. That actually has it's actually a 3-watt radio and has filtering. So transmit and receive are amazing. But you can't battery power it. It actually takes a USB-C PD port in order to power it completely. Oh, shoot. So, yeah, it's an old photo of the family.
Yeah.
I feel like you adopt nodes that you find on the side of the street. Is that
I try.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah.
Yeah. My ex-wife would find dogs. I'd find Meshtastic
Yeah, that's
nodes.
okay. It's a fair trade-off. It is. It is. Although I feel like we need to play that song at that Sarah McLachlan song that she sings with the
The heart
Yes.
of Meshtastic.
There you go.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
That's the one.
Yeah, that'd be the one.
That is the one. Chris Brecker says that you've only got about 5 more than him. Well, Chris, that's not his full collection.
No, the family has grown quite a bit since then. And I went from the silver and black theme to a yellow and black theme like this now. So,
oh, that looks green to me.
I love having a 3D printer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
see a
indeed.
big collection of it looks like filament there off to your side on stage left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My 2 P1S's and some PCTG, some PETG, some PLA, some ASA.
There's too many TLAs there.
TNAs? Is that
TLAs.
Oh, TLA. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Not
Yeah.
TNA. That's a different channel.
no. That was Clubhouse. That was last night.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially after
The one in the back is doing a topper for an MFJ, the big gray poles with the clamps. Found a topper for that, and then this one up front is actually doing a knee board. So if you're doing like a put activation and need to set something on your leg.
And
Well,
those are printing, or did you pause them?
Oh, they're
Really?
printing right now.
You don't even
Yeah.
hear them in the background. Well, you're running an electric voice or a EV mic. Is it EV? That's what it looks like.
I guess so. It's the Heil
Heil.
PR40,
Never mind.
whatever
Okay.
that is.
Huh,
Yeah.
Sorry. Bob, don't strike me down.
All right. So as long as we're talking down rat holes, can you post a link to that knee board, please? Because I need to print me one.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll have to go back and find it. I had rebooted everything, computer and everything when I was having issues.
Yeah,
But yeah,
right on.
let me find it. I'll get it.
Right on. That's cool. Well, folks, if you have questions for Dave, please put them in the chat or any one of us, and we will do our level best to address them.
Yeah, and as it grows, it's kind of one of those if you build it, they will come scenarios. A lot of people will buy a device, not see anybody, and put it away. If you keep your device on, that next guy that turns his on will actually see somebody and stay interested. And that's how the mesh grows. It's a very useful tool, whether it's Meshtastic, Mesh Core, Reticulum. As long as everybody in the area is on the same standard, it could be extremely beneficial in an emergency situation where it's all battery powered. So you're going to have comms even when the power's out and your batteries die on your radios or whatever. It's just another layer of communication that people can use to communicate and share information. If you want to get super secret score with it, it's 256-bit encrypted. You can create a private channel and talk to your buddies without anybody knowing about it.
Well, they'll know about it.
So.
They just won't be able to read it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Until quantum computing becomes a thing, and then all of those standards are gone. just
So,
like that.
so I'm just setting up a shot here on the desk. I have a question about,
Ooh.
antenna gain. Let me try and
Oh,
clean that up a little bit.
Yeah,
Throw
you had me concerned, Eric.
them
That
Okay.
was not the
Okay.
shot I was thinking of, Vince.
Okay, so this one came with my T Echo. This is a pretty standard antenna that comes with everything. And then I found
Right.
this one on, I don't know, Ali um, or Amazon or whatever. And so these claim to be, the big one here claims to be 9 dB of gain. So I already know that's probably unity gain, and this one probably isn't much better. Just based on their
And
side.
Baofeng says that they transmit 10
Well,
watts.
Over
well,
200
I
miles.
call that the ILS rating if lightning strikes. But so what are the if I wanted to buy some decent antennas with some decent gain instead of these questionable
So
cheap pieces of crap.
the bendy antennas, like you just had up, the ones that will fold 90
Yeah.
degrees, a lot of those actually have a dipole in them and are very
Oh.
good until you turn that 90 degrees. And then the SWR goes wonky and it goes from like a 1.2 to 1 to like a 9 to 1 if you actually turn it 90 degrees. And I'm trying to point at you
Yeah.
on the screen and show you what I'm talking about. and
Yeah,
it's not
I'm
working.
sorry.
But yeah, so at 90 degrees,
Yeah,
like that,
it's crappy.
they don't work. It's
Okay.
crap. But use it like that, and they are actually pretty good antennas.
So I should break one
Um,
open and see what's in it. Because I've got a
Yeah.
few of these. Okay, well, I'll do that. It won't take long.
The best from all the testing that's been done, the best antenna right now on the market for Meshtastic is this guy right here. If you search on Amazon for Gizont, Gizont, this is the best antenna that you can get. There you
One of
go.
these little guys.
One of those little guys. Yep. So that's the best Meshtastic antenna out there. And
Ooh, looky there. Hold on.
the misconception. Watch
yeah.
your finger there.
Yeah. That's the last thing we need to do is for you to get cut on stream and then
And
we get
demonetize us
demonetized. Yeah.
because of,
Well, actually, we're not monetized.
because of blood.
So,
Well,
speaking of not being monetized, if
yeah,
you
why
haven't
aren't we
done so already,
monetized?
please
Yeah.
hit the
Subscribe.
subscribe
Hit
button.
like
yeah.
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
But one of the misconceptions with Meshtastic while we're talking about is antennas and frequency. Everybody says 915, right? Well, it's the 915 ISM band. It actually transmits regular Meshtastic on long fast, transmits on 906.875. So 915 is kind of, if you have your antenna tuned for 915, it's not going to be as efficient as if it was tuned 907-ish. So, and then like at the Hamfest at Huntsville, we were using short fast, which is 925.375. So yeah, it's 915-ish. And just wanted to throw that out there. Some people, well, my antenna is not tuned for 915. It's tuned at 906 and it's perfect. Now we're all mesmerized now, waiting for him to cut his.
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking
why
of
would
which, Don here, I think Don is secretly saying he wants Vince to get hurt because he said he can put the strike on my channel.
Oh, I know what kind of a dipole this is. This is a sleeve dipole.
Look at
And
that, folks.
that's
You won't-
coaxial sleeve. So
You won't get that on any of the
That's right.
channel.
You will not get this
Surgery
on
the
any of the other live streams.
no,
No.
I'm totally willing to destroy an antenna for science. So yes, that is a coaxial sleeve antenna. It's exactly what that is. All right, so let me get in on this. So maybe Jeff, if you can find a link for a coaxial sleeve,
Okay.
and it's as the name implies. I'm going to peel that piece of foam out of the way. And so
So it's like a flower pot almost.
No. What happens is we
No?
take a
Okay.
piece of feed line and you peel back half, you expose half of the center core of the feed line here. I'm zoomed in a little bit too much. And you peel back the shield down here on this side and you fold it back on itself, just like you're peeling back a banana and you push it back this way and you just leave, the inside of the banana here and the rest of the peels are all down on this side, right? So it's a coaxial sleeve. This is a very simple type of antenna to construct. And they're incredibly efficient. And now I understand why it doesn't work so well, because they're designed as a vertical antenna, not as a horizontally polarized antenna. And I'm sorry I'm away from my microphone. My other camera's just on the desk a bit.
Still sound good.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So now this is actually quite well made. I'm pretty impressed with that. So, the coax is soldered out here, and then this is just the center, and it's insulated. In the case of this is RG316 feed line. It's pretty small stuff. It's smaller than 316 actually, which is the same as 174. So anyway, that's what's in there. So now we know it's a coaxial sleeve dipole.
So I put 3 links
There
in
we
the
go.
chat there. One was a sleeve dipole antenna design from incompliance.com or .mag or whatever it is, some magazine. One about a 2-meter sleeve dipole, and the Wikipedia page on coaxial antennas.
Yeah, the sleeve dipole was first introduced, I want to say, in the 1950s in QST magazine. And so if you go looking around ARRL publications, you'll see some early mentions of it. And it was made up, it's a half wave on, on this side and a half wave on this side, right? And so it's for 2 meters, it's, the antenna is quite long. It's 7 feet long. So it wasn't very popular on cars as a direct result.
Cool.
Oh, it seems like at that frequency range, that's a usable length.
Yeah,
not bad.
Totally it is.
I've got some of those laying around here too. So Dave, you had me scared there for a second when you said when you bend it over, it goes wonky. I just assumed that once you bend it over, it was always going to be wonky, but it's only when it's bent over it's wonky.
Only when it's bent
when
over
it's
is it wonky.
Upright, and
when it's upright, it's great.
Okay. And that's because if it's bent over, you've got one part of the leg, at the bend, because that sleeve or the shield, if you will, of the feed line is radiating. So now you've got part of the sleeve radiating in 90 degrees instead of it right in line in phase. Hey, I'm looking. So now that I can look at the chat,
so
what
it's
was
not like
the name of that?
L?
No, because an inverted L is fed differently.
Yeah,
and it has a different length on it.
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah,
being
I know.
facetious.
You were being Tim. And so what was the name of that antenna? That
Gizont, Gizont.
Gizont. Okay. Amazon.ca. Giz. Oh no, I got to say ZONT. Oh yeah, 20 centimeter, 10 dBi gain. 71 Canadian dollars. I might have to see if that's on .com instead.
Yeah, they're $12.
Yeah, like 12, 13, 14 bucks, 15.
Yeah, 14 bucks. 12 bucks.
I'm pretty sure I got mine from Amazon, I believe, or I could have gotten it from AliExpress. I don't remember.
Plus delivery to Canada. Right on.
Cool.
Well, that's cool. Now we know.
That was very cool.
Right on. And I did that because I, in my tub of antennas, this was a spare. So well, now it makes me wonder what's in the little beggars, but I've destroyed enough for one night.
Put a put a one in the chat if you guys want to see Vince open up one of the smaller antennas.
Yeah, everyone put a 1 in there.
Yes.
All right, I'll get one out because I know.
And I think it's a one. What he meant to say was a $1 Canadian super chat. No, we don't have super chats.
No, does my channel? Oh, I haven't turned that on. I monetized recently because why not? But I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So I haven't turned on that thing yet. Oh, nobody's put a 1 on it. I'm ready, but
nobody's put a 1.
Oh,
another really good antenna is if you buy a T-deck, it comes with a tape antenna. And that look at that.
There we go.
There's a bunch of ones.
Come on, we need some more.
I'm on it.
Keep
It
doing
comes with a tape antenna.
Yeah, let me grab it while you're getting set up.
Yeah, there's 52 people watching. I say we can get some more ones in the chat.
Put 1s in there, or Vince won't do it.
That's right.
Vince, don't do anything yet.
Oh,
don't do anything yet.
There he is. He's waiting, patiently waiting. James says, "Open up all the
how long?
There's 6 people that put 1s in there, 7, and not including me.
So.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, so that sits inside the in the unit, though, doesn't it?
Inside the device. So if you don't want an external antenna on your T-deck, you can just slip this on the inside of it, and it works really, really well. There you go.
Yeah, mine is phrased as a full band LTE antenna, 700 to 960 and 1710 to 2690, and it's got the little goofy connector that you swear at a lot when it falls off. That happened to me inside my one T-deck. The female connector fell off, but it's tape. And so I wonder what's on the other side of this.
I was just about to peel mine because I think you can actually see the trace on the other side.
Peel it. Okay.
Oh, look at there.
Tearing antennas apart here tonight.
Guys, you don't get this on any other channel.
You just don't get people willingly destroying their antennas.
Somebody might want to get a hold of Ape.
Ape sometimes shows up in this stream.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I mean, if Ape was here, he'd probably be saying, "Son, hold my beer."
Yeah, I know. He'd totally be. He'd totally be doing that. Yeah, the way somebody's typed in that cell antennas. Don has typed in cell antennas are like that, and I would agree. Only because this thing says LTE on it, and it's got, most of the frequencies. There we go.
Long-term Ethernet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I beat you to it.
Yeah. Oh, looky there.
Okay, so what do we got here? We have the center conductor and the ground. So center conductor here. And I would speculate that that's a little bit of a waveguide. I need somebody far smarter than me on antennas.
That's a parasitic element. That looks like a J-pole.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Or a slot style configuration, but that's on the ground. Oops, no, that's on the hot, on the center. Because the ground is only this side. And how do I know that? Because that's the way it's soldered on this side. So antennas at those frequencies, I mean, they get really interesting looking, right? So I'd encourage anybody who's on the stream and following us tonight to feel free to tear apart an antenna that they've got that they don't need, which is what I'm doing, just to see how it's constructed.
Oh, Don says that's for 2 bands.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, for 2 band. Oh, okay, that explains. Oh, so part of that's a trap then, to trap the frequencies away from the 1 band. Part of that shape. Okay, so what's in here?
Look at that. KA8JIL is on D-Star instead of watching the Ham Radio Kids table right now. I see how you're, Tom. Tommy Anderson.
There we go. Oh, so this antenna is just like some of my 2-meter antennas. Now, I've stretched the living daylights out of this one, and it snapped off the bottom, where it feeds in the tube.
That looks like a quirky QRP design there.
Well, So I wonder how long it is if I stretch it out. Let's get out the ruler here. So Dave, are you seeing an uptick in people adopting Meshtastic?
Yeah. So it's the general communities that are using it now is you have radio communities, not just ham radio, but the GMRS guys have really started to, because of the license free portion of it,
Yeah.
really started to grab onto it. Ham radio operators, it's been booming. But then like DEFCON. As a matter of fact, some of the kids from Alabama DEFCON actually found out that we were at the show, paid for a ticket, and came straight to the booth so that they could buy some of the shell boards because they'll use it for other things because it's got a great ESP32 chip in it. So it's growing. The RV communities are now starting to look at Meshtastic to be able to talk to each other. So the more once you build it, they will come. The more people that learn about it and know about it, the more people are really starting to try and play with it.
Speaking of the communities, well, I started to mention earlier, I think Burning Man came up, but what I was thinking about was Quartzsite, because that's a dispersed group of people camping out in the middle of nowhere, doing amateur radio and other outdoor art. I think it's a combination. There's a little bit of everything out there, but a dispersed group of people without any real cell infrastructure of any nature. So it's a great, when things are good, that's a great way to communicate out there. But just in general, I was in that tornado. I bring that up a lot, but I mean, I had a tornado within 1,000 feet of my house, and lucky we were, but because it was just starting to form. But our community was hit pretty hard, and we were out of service for about 4 days, power and cell and everything. And so it's important to have other ways to communicate other than just the basic phone service or cellular service. I mean, they do their best to make a hardened facility, but if the antenna gets hit, the antenna gets hit.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be available. And they've got provisions to bring in temporary service. But Thomas can tell you about some of the nightmares that he went through in his area and the people in trying to get communication for some period of time before they reestablish the structured phone service.
Right.
And that's a recent example. And yours truly, I lived through the southern Alberta floods of 2013, and I led the Aries response and the team of 55 that helped keep that part of southern Alberta on the map. I will tell you firsthand that it takes days to stand that kind of infrastructure back up. I'd really love to get in there. I'm trying to figure out how long this wire is, but I'm sure there's somebody out there who's smarter than me who can do math and figure out if it's curly and 4 inches long, does that mean it's 5 inches or 5.5 and it's straight?
I think Corky QRP might have a calculator.
I'm sure James has a calculator.
Probably runs on his Quansheng or something. He's good putting the alternative firmware on there.
There we go. We can go back to 4UP because I'm done tearing shit apart.
Looking in the chat, Chris, I'm excited to see what you do with it. Chris actually got one of the Xiao devices and is going to geek out on it and see what he can do with it. So I'm kind of excited to see what that mind will do with that toy.
Well, that's kind of neat to see what these things are made of. I'm not going to tear apart this one because this one's really nice that came with my my T-Echo. But the other one,
it's probably the same thing.
It undoubtedly is the same. It just looks prettier.
Yeah.
It's nicer plastic.
Well, and it's stamped for 915 meg right on it, so I don't want to tear that apart. Oh, I have a spare GPS module for a T-deck.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Vince, do you got a nano VNA that we can slap that thing on? And
I have a rig expert. We can slap that on. Why don't I do that?
Will it do 900 megahertz?
Yeah, man.
All right. Awesome. Looky here, guys.
And so this is how I carry my rig expert around. This is an electric toothbrush case off Amazon.
Oh,
so
you got the K8 MRD hack?
No.
No?
No, I don't know what that is.
They've been using that before Mike made a video. Sorry to
did
tell
he
you,
really?
but-
What on with a toothbrush case?
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
carry around my Alacraft AX1 and AX3 in a case like this. I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years.
You know, I carry my toothbrush around in a toothbrush case.
Yeah. So let me take this out of the way. We'll snap an adapter on there. And I'm going to grab an antenna that I didn't destroy.
We're going to. He has an SMA connector.
Yeah.
He's got it.
He's got all the connectors.
All of them
I went
stacked
from
up.
N to SO239 to BNC to SMA.
So how much insertion loss we got there just from the connectors?
0.4 of a dB according to W6LG.
Okay.
I
guess I was standing corrected. Chris Brecker said the actual KMRD hack is a bidet case.
Oh. Okay.
Portable
Well,
bidet
that's
case.
yeah, that's good enough. We won't talk about that any further. Where the heck is Antscope?
I like that little green button.
DX Beacon Aid?
Oh,
no, that
down
one.
at the bottom. Yeah.
DX Beacon Aid is one of my favorite apps. I'm going to do a shout out for the IARU beacons. If you guys were to tune into 14.100 and have an app like this, the IARU beacons are internationally coordinated and they transmit a call sign and 4 tones, 1,000 watts, 100 watts, 1 watt, and 100 milliwatts. And you can use it to see live propagation of what's going on. So this is just one of the many IARU beacon apps that's out there. Antscope was on here somewhere. I think I can find it now. Let's do it this way. If I could type Antscope. Oh, there it is.
Right there.
Oh, I was looking for a different
different Antscope.
I was looking for a different icon when I was doing. So let's see. So starting frequency, what do I want to scan? Dave, 900 to 1,000 or 900 to 930?
Do 900 to 930.
Oops. 900.
Now, you don't have a ground plane, so that's one thing that a lot of people, just like an HT antenna, we'll see if it works, but
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is about as exciting as watching paint dry. I swear that this thing is a 1 gig device. So starting frequency in kilohertz, 900,000 kilohertz, and it keeps changing it back. Maybe it doesn't do it because it's cellular blocked or something. 901,000. Must be cellular blocked. Well, so much for this idea. I'll have to work on that later. Maybe I'll scan it a little further, 800.
Yeah, that should be a 1 gigahertz.
It is. It's a 1 gig Stick X Pro.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. So settings. Let's try again. I've crashed the app. 900. Do. This is my not impressed face.
Go back to that center frequencies. Try
906 or 915 as the center.
Nope.
Well, that is wacky. it seems to think that this device is only good for 230 megahertz. And I was sweeping UHF with it just the other day.
Do you need to open up like an extended range in the app?
Negatory, good buddy. So settings. So
Okay.
connection to a Stick X Pro number 004 X Pro, like it should know it's there. Might need a new version of the app or something. Let's try again. No, that's where it's topping out. Well, if y'all got any questions for Dave while I'm screwing around here, trying to get this, please type them in the chat, and one of the guys will help you out. Yes, I do have a Nanovina, so why don't I get that out?
A Nanonova?
Nanovina?
A Nanovina, the Russian Nano VNA.
Yeah.
But put that away. So I grab for my Rig Expert first because I am not as familiar with a Nano VNA. Did I turn it off and on back again? Yes, I did.
Yeah. Chris said, did you do a factory reset
Of what?
Now, of the Stick Pro?
No.
No.
All right, so there's the Nanovina, and clean the screen.
It's out of gas.
Vince, what I was just thinking about that would be interesting. That's a bendable one too.
Yes, it is.
That
Yes, it is.
there?
So I do want to compare them.
Although you probably need that on S0.
All right. So who's going to walk me through
or channel 0?
How to
or I don't know.
How to configure this for the right range and stuff? Because I seriously have not used this device in a very long time.
Do you see stimulus?
Yep.
So you need to set the stimulus.
Okay.
Yeah. So the start and the stop. So you can do the 900. Megs, and then the stop would be the 930.
Oh.
Yeah.
Except I typed it in wrong.
Like 1,000 times incorrectly. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Stop. 930 meg, and then I guess we're good here. It's sweeping.
Yeah.
And so what have I got here? I've got this on channel 1, so it's an S21 reading. And so that's smarter.
Yeah, I think you need to plug it into the other port.
Yeah,
channel 0 port.
S11 reading.
Here, I'll put the cap on this one so none of the RF flies out the hole.
I'd hate for it.
Yeah, we don't need RF flying out the hole.
No.
Yeah.
Or into any hole.
So, okay, what are our 3 traces? We got the green one on the bottom.
So
is that your standing
green
wave?
is the bottom. That's your standing wave. It's at 1.2 right now. Or it was,
okay.
Okay, so I'll keep my hands away from it. And the blue trace is channel 1 log mag and channel 1 phase.
You could turn those off.
I don't know how to do that. Tell me.
At the back, and then trace, and then tap the ones we don't need to see.
It should toggle them on and off.
Oh, I'm not hitting it.
There we go.
Enough.
All right, so we want.
So I think trace 2 is the one you. is the only
Oh,
one
and
you
then
want to
this is
see.
in a Smith chart format.
Yeah, go back. We wanted to see the SWR one on trace. So go back to trace. And I think it was
And two.
It was
I think
2.
it's two. Yeah.
so there we go.
All right, there you go. So what we're seeing here is actually you're seeing two things. You're seeing the actual. Well, go ahead and leave 0 on. That was good. So you're seeing two things because people see standing wave. I don't think they necessarily realize what it is, but standing wave is a ratio of impedance compared to 50 ohms of impedance. So when you see a 2-to-1, you've got 100 ohms of impedance. So right now, if we look at this, we're seeing 75, 55. So it's bouncing, roughly 1.1 to 1 to up to 1.5 to 1 when it's at 75 ohms. Unless you're Ziggy, and then it would be a 1-to-1 on your 75 ohm coax.
So now we've got
So
1.4 something bouncing around, and it's sitting still. Just to
yeah,
give you guys an idea of what this looks like on my table, I've just got it sitting there. So, oops, hate it when that happens. So let me come back in
hit the
here,
button.
and now let's do the bendy test. So my hand is going to change. I haven't moved the antenna yet, but my hand has changed the SWR. It's up at like 1.9 right now. And then I bent the antenna up and my hand is taken away from it.
And there it
Holy
goes.
crap, 2.9, 2.8, 3.0. And even the impedance has changed from roughly 50 ohms up to 64 ohms. So
With capacitance in there too, 2.7
2.77
picofarad.
picos. And then if
Yeah.
I bend it back down again, it's like 10.5 picos, 85 ohms. 85 ohms. So given that this is a dipole, what's the SWR and the impedance of a dipole? 75 ohms or 72 ohms, right? If I recall correctly. Did I get that right? Oh, no, that isn't right. 50 ohms. It's 75 ohms for an inverted V. There we go. So I wonder
So
what
that
happens if I bend it up just a little bit. So that's bent up at a bit of an angle here. So yeah, that 90-degree bend really does play havoc with it. Well, that's good to know because I had mine sitting on the ground out at my
Oh wow, it went way up there when you been at.
oh yeah, totally it does 2.4.
So yeah. What happens if you're so you even there just rotating it 90 degrees once you had it bent 90 degrees, and then you become the ultimate
Well,
resistor,
yes, of course.
the ultimate dummy load.
Well, I am the ultimate dummy load, so that makes perfect sense. But
Yeah.
anyway, here's some fun with the Novenas. And
unfortunately, there's a lot of devices out there that are built. I mean, our indicator is built with the port on the side where you have to bend the antenna 90 degrees. So
yeah,
there's
there we go, Tim. I'll come off that camera.
So would it be better because I know you can find and because I've got them for my one of my dinguses back there on the wall is a 90-degree
Yep.
bend, a 90-degree
That's
elbow.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, and then take a straight
Yep.
antenna.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was going to comment
Well,
earlier.
I
It's
got
like,
one of those.
why did they design that antenna to do that? I know like some of the older Wi-Fi routers had those same type of antennas too.
And I don't know if it's every antenna. I just know that the 900 megahertz ones that everybody sells and uses for Meshtastic have that issue.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I'll
the
try
fix
putting him in.
is SMA 90 and a regular antenna, and you're good to go.
So as long as you're holding up your indicator, I see on the Seed Studio that they've discontinued the indicator for Meshtastic and LoRa.
Yeah. So there are, like we talked about earlier, everything is repurposed IoT or LoRaWAN equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept was great and they were able to do it, but it doesn't do it well. There are there's two different chipsets inside of there that have to both be utilized for Meshtastic, and they kind of fight each other. So it's extremely difficult to build the firmware for it. And simple things like you can't Bluetooth to it because one of the chipsets is using GPIO ports that take up the Bluetooth on the other chipset. So you have to put it into a special mode to be able to use Bluetooth. The SD card running Meshtastic, the SD card slot doesn't work. So part of the fancy UI is to have maps, and you have to load those maps on the SD card. So yeah, it works. It does the thing, but there's a lot better things out there that do it. So
Yeah, I kind of was thinking that looking elsewhere, so they don't have that anymore. I'm like, no, not a big loss. I like the idea of the touchscreen, but
and the idea was because it's USB-C powered. This Alley Cat made me a case. That's her logo.
Yep.
And it has a battery bank in there.
Yep.
Right. So, and that's how I have it portable, but it's USB-C powered. So you have to have it plugged in all the time. And it works kind of as a home node.
Yeah.
But when you can have this guy or who knows what else,
Yeah.
having one that sits at your desk and is only sitting at your desk is kind of useless.
Well, it'd be the same idea. I mean, the idea of me to have at least sticking out the the west side of my house, out the window as like kind of a repeater. But like I said, that'd probably be like the only place for me to put a repeater, because I'm not climbing up 50 feet to put something on the roof. There's nothing on the roof to put anything to. But that was my original idea. But yeah, I know there's some better stuff out there, and I think I'm planning to go that route.
And because I heard you say repeater, that's one thing I guess we can kind of discuss as roles with Meshtastic.
Yes, we should do that.
So there are different roles, and they all dictate when a message is rebroadcasted. Right. So top of the tier, you have repeater, which is immediately retransmitting whatever it gets. Right. Which sounds like a great idea until you have two repeaters that, like, I'm in the middle and I transmit, and the two repeaters pick it up and they both retransmit at the same time because they're using the same algorithm, and they create a collision and my message never goes through. Very, very, very rare do you use the repeater mode, or the router mode for that matter. Router delays a little bit, and now we have router slow, which delays it a little bit further. But with the flood routing, the way they work is it takes the signal strength. I transmit a message and everybody hears it and everybody gets a signal strength off that message. There is a timer built in that says that it's going to, whoever picked it up the weakest is going to transmit it first. Right. And it's not intelligently, like they don't tell each other. It's just the weaker the signal, the faster you rebroadcast. Once again, when you have a bunch of people together and that is the same signal to noise ratio and power, they'll all try and rebroadcast and you get collisions. So you have repeater, router. Those are infrastructure nodes meant for high up places that is connecting kind of two groups of people together. Then you have client, which is what everybody is on. And then you have client mute. Client mute does not rebroadcast messages. You can send and receive messages, but it does not rebroadcast them at all. That is, I have my devices in the house. When they're in the house, they're on client mute because I have a solar node on the roof that's a client. I can get messages in and out, and I can talk to whoever I want to talk to, but because we're in close geographic area and the solar node has a better antenna, a better elevation, everything else, let it do the heavy lift, let it do the rebroadcasting, and then I just pick stuff up on here. From there, there's specialized ones you can set up as a tracker where it rebroadcasts location over messages and it prioritizes. There's the store and forward function, which is really cool if it's a device that has memory in it. And that is where you send a message, it stores it until it hears your device reply, right? Or sees your device reply. If it doesn't, then it'll hold on to the message until you come back in range and go, hey guys, I'm here. And then it'll spit the message back out on the mesh. So it'll actually hold it for you, kind of like an answering machine.
That's basic Ethernet networking, store
Yeah.
and forward.
Yeah. So those are the roles. A lot of people are like, oh, I have a solar node, I need to have it on repeater, and don't, because but at the same time, don't put everything on client mute, because then nobody rebroadcasts the message and it doesn't go anywhere. So there's a balance of client and client mute.
I should restate what I just said. I said it wrong. That's the basis of Ethernet switching is store and forward, not Ethernet networking, switching.
And
So there we go. So I have a thing. I was just thinking about this, and we were talking about this earlier, and in conjunction with our friends down in Huntsville. If any not seen it or didn't see flopping out on the social media events, are you asleep?
No,
Oh
no, no. I'm following a suggestion from B. Willian to say
you
do
look
this
like you
directly
dozed
on
off
here.
there. I wasn't sure if we were keeping you up past your bedtime.
Well, it's
But
pretty
with our friends
close.
down here in Huntsville, big space presence. Now, if you guys didn't follow it on social media, we were in the presence of a big time YouTuber, and I'm not talking about me. Destin from Smarter Every Day, who
Oh
lives
yes,
there in the Huntsville area, was there at the Ham Fest, and some people fanboyed him, Frank. But
no.
no, it was all good. But I got to thinking about it. Why don't we do Project Meshtastic and see if we can't get some of these guys to smuggle some of these things in with them when they go up to the ISS, and then just kind of stick it up there in the window, just as an informal, not a formal, not a formal test or anything like that. But I'm just gonna, like you do in the airplane, right? Or you just
Yeah.
slide it up there underneath the shade and
That
get a little just duct tape it to the glass, plug it
little
in.
segue is this does fit perfectly in between the shade and the window on an airplane.
Now we're not telling you to do anything, but
It does. I
yes.
and don't pieces of hardware that go up to the ISS have to go through a rigorous process of like
That's what I'm saying. They just smuggle a couple of those in their
cleaning,
underbritches.
approval, testing, and all kinds of other rubbish just to go up into space.
Smuggle it in your underbritches. Slide it down in your shoe. I mean, when I used to go into
Or
Tijuana
some
when
other
I was in the Navy,
places.
I'd stick my my ID card, my military ID card down up in my shoe underneath the sole, so I wouldn't get picked as a service member coming back across after curfew. Statute of limitations is beyond that, so I can talk. Hey,
oh,
look at that,
Mike's
Mike.
in the chat.
Look at Dave being interviewed. They all grow up so fast, don't they?
They sure do.
Yeah,
Yes, they do.
Love you, Mike.
All right. So for those of you wondering, yes, my Rig X does my Stick X Pro does go up to 1 gig, and it is at this moment I've got the antenna bent. So
It's a bender.
zoom it out a little bit. It's a bender. It was hanging around with K Murder too much. So
That's
if
because you
I
were storing it in the K Murder portable bidet case.
well, that's true too.
Yeah.
Now if I futz with the coax a little bit in there, all I did was touch the coax right up here, just straighten it out a bit, as it's a sleeve dipole. Look at that.
Look at that.
Perfect.
the SWR down. And so just as a reminder, that's what's inside these goofy antennas. Anyway, it is working, so it's obviously an application thing. There you go. I'll come back to front.
Cool.
Yeah. Now, thanks for that suggestion there, Brian. Cool.
All right, we are all learning together. So, what was the fix there? Since
Well, all I did was, with Brian's suggestion, is to just run the device directly instead of off the app. So there's a
Gotcha.
bug in the app.
There's always a bug in the app.
so not a factory reset.
No, I didn't do a factory reset.
Okay.
All right.
All
Well,
right,
this has
awesome.
been cool.
Well, so Dave, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? I am going to put up. Dave's got some QR codes here. Not QR
Oh,
codes. I'm sorry.
Discount codes.
Discount
Yeah.
codes. For Seed Studios. So if you are interested in any of these things, I'll let this scroll here for a little bit. But Seed Studios, SEEED Studios.com.
Link is in the chat.
Yep, link is in the chat, I guess. And then you can use any one of these discount codes.
That's it. No, it's been a lot of fun. I have a video out if anybody wants to watch it. It's pretty dry, but it's my first video, so yeah. They asked me to do an unboxing and a setup of the solar node, so I got to learn how to do a YouTube video to do that, and that was very interesting. I don't envy you guys at all that do this for a living and full time, because there's a lot more involved than just buying a camera, and I learned that pretty quick. So
how is that solar node working out for you?
mine has been on my roof since Dayton. I got mine at Dayton, and battery life on it, it's never gotten below 95%. And it just does the thing. It just sits there and it acts as an infrastructure node and passes traffic back and forth. It's enabled me to, I live on the edge of the county, kind of far away from everybody, and my devices don't work in the house. And that's my link to the outside world. So works great.
Cool.
They'll run for about 2 weeks in total darkness. We did some testing and put it in a closet for 2 weeks, and it was still alive. This one, I mean, the one we had at Montesano, it was under the canopy and we didn't have a lot of sun, or it was storming and raining, and it showed up there at 90%. And at the end of the week it was 85%. And that one, actually, in the video, I actually put in has a temperature, barometric pressure, and humidity sensor in it.
Yep, I saw that video too.
Yeah, the solar node has a Grove port that you can add Grove sensors to it. And
that's pretty slick that they had that in mind for the design of the case.
So now, granted, it's doing the temperature, humidity, and barometric pressure inside of a sealed box.
Yeah.
So it's not, but you have a sealed box, and there's no way to get that outside of the box. But the fact that it's there, you can still get a pretty good idea. So, cool. And Huntsville was a blast. I could go through and do the cheesy, this is the Seed Studio lineup if you want, and show you all the different toys and cool things. But I've had more fun with us tearing up antennas and just talking Meshtastic.
Maybe we should leave them with that, and we can always get you back in to do another one.
Okay.
So awesome. Well, it is. We've been on for about an hour and a half, and it seems like it's only been 20 minutes. Time has flown by so quickly.
Yes, it has.
Yeah. So, Dave, you've now gotten the bug for making some videos. Or you got anything else coming up on your channel, or?
Yeah. So I will video once we get the Wilkinson divider set up and running and playing with that. I'm going to do a video on that. But right now, the rental I'm at actually is kind of set up perfectly. I'm going to tune my gutters. and I'll do a video on that and try and make a gutter antenna.
Nice.
Awesome.
So the downspout actually comes down and bends over and is about 4 feet away from a ground. So, and then all of that is about 6 feet away from the window where my shack is at. So it's all just right there waiting for me to do it. And then
It's like
maybe
it was built that way, right?
like it was built for me to play with it.
There
So
you go.
that's next.
Hey, Dave, Chris Bricker asks if you are on Discord and how does he get a hold of you?
I am on Discord and I am KB5UTY/Dave on Discord.
Not
Just
to be
like I am on
confused
this.
with K Booty
That's right.
or K Murder.
And message me. And I am now in after the ham show, the South Florida mesh, the Georgia mesh, the North Carolina mesh have all asked for me to be part of their Discord channels now. So
Because you
now
are the mesh dealer.
I'm the mesh dealer.
Mhm.
And I actually was selling mesh in the parking lot at Montesano. It was awesome.
Yes.
I'm going to get a shirt made for next year that says mesh dealer on it.
I am the mesh dealer.
That's right.
Yeah. That might just have to be a tagline for your YouTube channel.
It might. Because right now it's just KB5UTY Dave. And you can see about 14 years ago, I played with YouTube a little bit. And you can see my roots, a little bit of redneck going on, blowing stuff up with tannerite and mud trucks. So
I'm laughing at Tannerite.
Tannerite and mud trucks.
and Bricker found me. I just got the message on Discord.
Good deal. Good deal. Jeff, what do you got going on?
I'd say dropped a video last night, dropped another QRM short this morning or this afternoon. I forget when I did it, but anyway, today sometime. Went down to Virginia just about a week and a half ago and did some activations. Like I get those videos done for. Kind of interesting time. Gonna be on vacation next week, so all my plans fell through for my vacation time. So I'm gonna have a staycation and try to crank those videos out. So that's what I'm doing right now. Got something that recently that I've really been dying to play with. I just haven't had all the pieces yet, and they're all coming in, and I'll be doing a video on that, which will be coming out. I don't know when, but we'll see what happens. It should be interesting.
Awesome. How about you, Vince?
Well, I've got more episodes of What Would You Tell Your Younger Self coming up. I just dropped a video yesterday about International Dog Day. So that started yesterday and runs till the 26th. I know K8MRD is going to go work International Dog Day by going to dogdayradio.org, and then he's going to make one contact and get the Pretty Puppy Award, or the obedient puppy or whatever it's called, but it's called a puppy award anyway. He's going to do that, not using continuous wag, but single side bark. So it would be great to see Mike do that. But anyways, that video's dropped, and I've got some film in the can that I'm trying to figure out what to do with about my attempted soda, which failed, but I did another POTA Atno. And I climbed up on my e-bike 1,100 feet of altitude to do it. And I'm so hooked on doing this now. I just bought another e-bike. I just bought a new e-bike, or a new to me e-bike, last night. So I've been in the garage today, putting proper pedals on it and cleaning it up and stuff. So I'm sure there's more footage in the future. I'm super excited about this. That's what's coming up.
What's coming up for you there?
Well, yeah, you mentioned the e-bike. I actually got a scooter. And it is lacking a little bit of performance uphill. And I got to thinking about that on my drive back up from Huntsville, about a 6-hour drive in a truck, about how I could soup that up. See if I get a little bit more power out of it. Maybe put a little larger motor in there. Do a little aftermarket situation. So I might be playing with that.
You know, I'm on my third e-bike right now, and I've learned that it's not about my dog is being recalcitrant. It's not about the wattage of the motor. It's all about the torque. Because my old bike and my new bike have exactly the same wattage, 250 watts, but this new one is torquey as all get out. So, food for thought. It's all about the motor and the controller.
Well, I got a little extra weight, so I need a lot of torque.
Oh, dude.
But,
come on, who are you talking to here? You're not talking to Skinny Vinny.
Skinny Vinny. What's up, Skinny Vinny and the mesh dealer, Dave. Go. Skinny Vinny and the mesh dealer, Dave. There we go. But no, you know, I was Davis mentioned gutter antenna, and I've got a gutter antenna set up from Alpha Antennas that I was going to test here in the new building. So I've got 20 feet on each side of the building that I've got gutters running down, running on the north side and the south side. And I was going to play. I talked to Steve from Alpha Antennas about, you know, what would it be like if I did one antenna versus, or I'm sorry, one gutter versus the other gutter versus connecting both gutters. And we talked about it. You know, of course, it's try it. Use something like Whisper so you can document it and see what the results are. And so we're down at the cookout at the Huntsville Ham Fest, and Mike gave a ton of stuff away. And thank you, Mike, for doing that. There's a lot of people who got batteries and solar charging panels and some radios and stuff like that he had collected over the last probably a year since the last time he did a big giveaway, and gave this away. But John, we were just talking about him earlier, had his phased array antenna kits there, and he donated one of those to raffle to give the proceeds to the Teachers Institute. And so I won it. Now I'm getting crazy. And I'd actually talked to John before he did this earlier in the week about phased array gutter antennas. Now I've got the pieces and parts to do that. So I think that might be a little wonky, but maybe an antenna video coming up just to play around, you know, do the phased array, maybe get a second DX commander, have a little fun with it just as a permanent setup in the backyard, but do the gutter antenna too.
That would be cool. And now you got me thinking, because I live in a duplex, so we have identical gutter systems on the house that go around, and that would be I'm gonna have to get one of his kits. There we go.
Well, I mean, phasing from that standpoint. Now that John did tell me that in this scenario, my gutters aren't long enough for a lot of bands, but I'd get 20, I think 20 and 10 and somewhere a couple of bands in between, but 40 and such are probably out of the question.
And James is asking if you can drop a link to John Gendron.
Yep. He's in Florida. John's Antennas, maybe? No,
it's phased arrays. I have his sticker.
Performance arrays. No.
Sounds right.
Apparently it sounds right.
Yeah, look at that. Let me
performance Z arrays.
Yep. Alrighty, thank you. There we go. That's his website. Knock yourselves out. And UK and Canadian shipping is available, folks. Cool.
All right.
Neat.
Sounds good. Let's
wrap it
let's
up.
get out of here.
Oh, wrong side.
right.
I'm looking at myself.
I see. Is that Bucky's? Is that what that
Bucky's
says?
has fishing shirts now with the
Cool.
Bucky's logo on it.
Are they permethrin infused?
I
Like,
have
are they anti? Do they have a tag on them that says they're good for keeping mosquitoes off?
I don't think so, but
Damn.
they have the zipper pocket here, the pockets. They have the flap on the front of your shirt that actually cleans your glasses. They're ventilated. They're really
Oh,
light,
that's very
stretchy.
nice.
Stretchy. Yeah,
It's got support for all your
right.
Meshtastic nodes.
Right. So we got these discount codes going along the
Right.
bottom just before we say goodbye. And what website do people have to hit up to use them?
www.seedstudios.com with 3 E's.
Seed with 3 E's. And Jeff has just put that in the chat. So that's great.
And
Dave,
thanks for having me on.
It has been a delight to chat with you again. I haven't talked to you since Hamvention, so it's been great.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Dave.
Yep.
Stick around after the outro here. So, all right, everybody, have a great rest of the week. Enjoy it. Tomorrow night is the Coffee and Ham Radio's live stream, 8 p.m. Also, there's Thursday night premiere videos leading into that, and then another whole slew of other live streams throughout the rest of the week. So make sure you check those out. Support all the creators, and we will talk to everybody later. 73.
Guys.
See ya.
Right.